Hello Moto GP fans. Welcome back to ZNGP Today. The Thailand test offered Ducati Lenovo Team director Davide Tardozzi a chance to balance optimism with caution. While the spotlight inevitably fell on Marc Márquez's crashes and Francesco Bagnaia's future, Tardozzi kept the conversation firmly on track performance and technical progress. His words carried both reassurance and warning. Ducati is satisfied with its preseason work. Marquez remains a contender despite setbacks, and Bagnaia is showing signs of rebirth. Aprilia's Jorge Martín arrived at Buriram with questions hanging over his preseason. Having skipped Sepang to recover from off-season surgeries, the 2024 world champion had only 2 days on the RSGP before the Thai Grand Prix. Yet he emerged from testing in solid shape, 8th on the combined timesheets, and with a clear sense of where he stands. The bike feels natural, the base setup is there, but Martín admits he is still missing 2 to 3 tenths compared to the very fastest. Toprak Razgatlioglu's long-awaited MotoGP debut is here, but the 3-time world superbike champion enters the Thai Grand Prix still wrestling with adaptation. The Pramac Yamaha rider admits he doesn't yet trust the Michelin front tire and even joked that perhaps he needs to crash to understand its limits. After finishing second to last in the Buriram test and more than 2 seconds off the pace, Razgatlioglu's challenge is clear, bridging the gap between superbike instincts and MotoGP demands. Fabio Quartararo left the final Thailand test with more questions than answers. 17th on the timesheets and visibly frustrated, the Frenchman admitted Yamaha's new V4 engine and concession status aren't yet delivering the expected leap forward. With grip issues, limited mileage, and lap times well off last year's race simulations, Quartararo enters the 2026 season bracing for a long rebuild rather than immediate success. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Tardozzi knows the dangers of speaking too soon. A year and a half ago, he accidentally revealed Ducati's lineup before the official announcement, a mistake that echoed across the paddock. This time, journalists tried to bait him again, but he was prepared. Instead of slipping, he redirected attention to the bike's development. Aerodynamics, chassis, and rear suspension were all validated in Thailand, confirming choices made earlier in Sepang. The restraint shows Ducati's maturity. Lessons learned off the track are just as important as those learned on it, and Tardozzi's careful answers reflect a team determined to control the narrative. Marc Márquez's testing crashes inevitably raised questions. For a rider with a history of pushing limits, the sight of him hitting the ground was familiar, but Tardozzi dismissed concerns. Marc had a few crashes, but that didn't affect his performance. The message was clear: crashes are part of Marquez's process, not a sign of weakness. Tardozzi even issued a warning: Marquez will be a contender for wins and the championship. The season is long, and Ducati knows consistency matters more than preseason headlines. The standout joy for Ducati was Francesco Bagnaia's return to form. After a difficult 2025, the reigning champion looked sharp and confident in Thailand. We're very happy to see Pecco back to his best. Bagnaia's resurgence could be pivotal. A strong Pecco alongside Marquez gives Ducati a formidable pairing, at least for now. His pace and testing suggested he could once again be a regular contender, restoring balance to Ducati's lineup. When pressed about Bagnaia's contract extension, Tardozzi deflected. Bagnaia himself hinted that an announcement could come soon, but Ducati's director refused to confirm. We'll see. It depends on him. We have to wait. The guarded response suggests Ducati is waiting on Bagnaia's announcement, leaving the rider market open and speculation alive. It was a balancing act, acknowledging Bagnaia's importance while refusing to commit publicly. Tardozzi's stance hints at a split between Ducati and Bagnaia being likely, though not yet official. With Marquez's teammate for 2026 still unconfirmed, the rider market remains fluid. Ducati's silence speaks volumes. The factory is prepared for change, but timing is everything. Until Bagnaia makes his move, Ducati will keep its cards close to the chest. Thailand's tests gave Ducati confidence in its machinery and reassurance in its riders. Marquez's crashes were shrugged off, Bagnaia's form was celebrated, and contract talk was carefully sidestepped. For Tardozzi, the message was balance, progress on track, patience off it. As the lights prepare to go out, Ducati enters 2026 with both strength and intrigue. Marquez's warning presence, Bagnaia's rebirth, and the looming uncertainty of contracts ensure that Ducati's season will be as much about management as it is about speed. Martin's preseason was fragmented. Surgery kept him out of Sepang, meaning Buriram was his first real chance to push the 2026 Aprilia. Despite limited laps, he quickly found rhythm. "I think we found a bit the base for this track." The ability to establish a baseline so quickly reflects both his adaptability and Aprilia's progress. Missing Sepang could have left him behind, but instead he looks competitive. Martin emphasized how well the RSGP suits his style. He doesn't need to change his approach. The bike allows him to ride instinctively. "It's a bike where I feel my riding style is very natural. I don't need to do different things from the past, and the speed comes." That natural fit is crucial. Riders often struggle when machinery demands compromise. For Martin, the RSGP seems to unlock his potential rather than restrict it. Martin was candid about where he still falls short. His race pace is consistent, but he concedes he is missing 2 or 3 tenths compared to the leaders. "I think we missed 2-3 tenths to the fastest riders in terms of pace." Honesty matters. By identifying the gap, Martin sets a clear target. In Moto GP, tenths are everything. Closing that margin could be the difference between podiums and top 5s. Martin's time attack runs showed promise. He admitted he left margin on the table yet still posted competitive laps. Compared to last season, he feels he has made a really big improvement. That progress is encouraging. Even without full preseason mileage, Martin is already faster than he was a year ago. The trajectory points upward. Despite positive feelings, Martin refused to overpromise. Buriram is a unique track, and he knows results at Austin or Jerez could tell a different story. "I don't want to rate it too optimistically, because this is a really strange track." The caution shows maturity. Rather than hype, Martin is focused on steady growth and adapting across circuits. Jorge Martin's Buriram test was less about fireworks and more about foundations. After surgery, limited laps, and a late start to preseason, he still found a base setup, confirmed the RSGP's natural fit, and identified the gap to the leaders. 2 to 3 tenths may separate him from the front, but the improvement from last year is undeniable. For Aprilia, the message is clear. Their champion feels at home on the bike, and with more laps and races, the deficit could shrink quickly. As the 2026 season begins, Martin's blend of honesty, composure, and natural speed sets the tone for a campaign built on progress rather than promises. Razgatlioglu's preseason was far from smooth. With limited laps and a steep learning curve, he ended the Buriram test near the bottom of the timesheets. His lap of 1 minute and 30.7 seconds showed effort, but the deficit to the leaders was stark. "I'm pushing my best, but the lap time is not coming and always I'm getting sad." The honesty reflects his frustration. MotoGP's precision leaves little room for hesitation, and Razgatlioglu knows he must adapt quickly. During testing, Razgatlioglu shadowed teammate Jack Miller to study where he was losing time. The first corner and opening sector revealed the biggest gap. "When I was following Jack, I was surprised, because I was losing a lot in the first corner." Watching Miller lean aggressively while trusting the front tire highlighted Razgatlioglu's caution. He admitted he was waiting for Miller to crash, only to be surprised when the bike turned cleanly. Razgatlioglu's biggest limitation is confidence in the Michelin front tire. On braking he feels strong, but when leaning into corners he hesitates. On the brakes, I can do hard braking, but when I am leaning, I don't really trust the front tire. This lack of trust is critical. MotoGP riders rely on the front to carry lean angles and corner speed. Without that confidence, lap times inevitably suffer. Razgatlioglu acknowledged that moving from superbikes to MotoGP requires a reset. The tires, electronics, and bike behavior are all different. He is still adapting, especially in corner entry and lean. When I moved to MotoGP, I understood very clearly that the tires and the bike will be very different, and I need to adapt to this. His awareness is sharp. He knows the problem, but solving it requires laps, experience, and perhaps, as he half-joked, a crash to truly find the limit. As the Thai Grand Prix approaches, Razgatlioglu remains cautious. He has yet to crash, and wonders if doing so might help him understand the edge of grip. Still, I haven't crashed, but maybe I need to crash to understand the limit. It's a revealing comment. For a rider known for spectacular saves in superbikes, MotoGP's margins are narrower. Testing the limit, safely, may be the only way to build trust. Toprak Razgatlioglu's MotoGP debut is framed by both excitement and uncertainty. His braking remains a weapon, but his hesitation on lean angles shows the adaptation still required. Following Miller gave him insight, but not yet confidence. The Turkish star's honesty, admitting sadness at his lap times and joking about needing a crash, underscores the steep climb ahead. As Buriram lights up for the season opener, Razgatlioglu's journey is less about immediate results and more about learning. The question isn't whether he has talent, it's how quickly he can translate it into MotoGP speed. Quartararo's assessment was blunt. Yamaha is still 7 to 8 tenths slower than last year's pace. Despite giving maximum effort, the gap remains. There's nothing to say. I tried to give it my all, but we're still 7 or 8 tenths slower. The candor reflects his disappointment. For a rider used to fighting at the front, 17th place is a stark reminder of Yamaha's current struggles. Quartararo only had one bike available on Sunday, with the other reaching maximum mileage. He focused on setup work but admitted he hasn't found the right direction yet. I haven't found the right direction yet, but the first part of the season will be dedicated to this. The lack of equipment compounds the challenge. With fewer laps and fewer options, progress will be slower. Yamaha's debut of the V4 engine was meant to mark a turning point. Quartararo acknowledged it as an important step, but grip and cornering remain major weaknesses. We can't get the bike to work well and we lack grip. Those are the main weaknesses. Power alone won't solve Yamaha's issues. Without grip and agility, lap times remain stuck in the high 1:30s and low 1:31s, far from competitive. Quartararo admitted to feeling mentally drained, frustrated by the lack of competitiveness. He knows results won't come quickly and expects the process to take all year. I think it will take us all year, because we can't find all the solutions in a short time. The honesty shows maturity. Rather than burning out, Quartararo is trying to manage expectations and focus on steady improvement. Quartararo also reached out to rookie teammate Toprak Razgatlioglu, who looked discouraged after struggling with adaptation. In SBK, he was always in the top 3, and here I saw him looking discouraged. Quartararo's empathy highlights his leadership. He reminded Toprak that difficulties are normal in a debut season, offering encouragement he wished he had received during his own early struggles. Fabio Quartararo's Thailand test was a sobering reality check. Yamaha's new engine hasn't yet solved grip and cornering issues, lap times remain off the pace, and frustration is mounting. Yet his words carried both realism and resilience. The season will be about rebuilding, not instant results. By supporting Razgatlioglu and managing his own expectations, Quartararo shows the mindset of a rider prepared for a long fight. For Yamaha, the road ahead is steep, but their leader is determined to endure it. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!